in the shocking incident that had come to the fore this morning, where a 14-year-old girl was raped, assaulted, harassed multiple times by her family friend, has now finally, the accused in this case has now finally been arrested by the police. Remember, this incident happened in the year 2021 and the month of October, when the victim had lost her father. Now, the victim and the accused, both these families were known to each other. They were actually family friends. And it was at a church that these guys used to meet and had developed a friendship. Now, when the father of the victim died in a road accident in the month of October 2021, the family of the accused went ahead and said that it is best for the future of the girl that he takes her under his wing and makes sure that the best of education and the best of facilities is provided to this 14-year-old little girl so her future could be secured. But what happened after that has shook the conscience of the entire nation. Since October 2021 till March 2021, since October 2020 till March 2021, this girl was raped, molested, harassed several times by the accused who works as a deputy director in the Women and Child Welfare Department of the Delhi government. He was the person on whose these accusations have been placed, that he was the person who raped, molested and harassed her several times during this time period of 6 months. Since then, this girl was under severe trauma, and after returning to her mother in the month of March 2021, she said that she was actually facing a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression that she had to undergo. Now, over the last 2 years, this 14-year-old girl suffered from many anxiety attacks, many panic attacks, but since the mother did not have the right capabilities and the right capacity to make sure that the right treatment is given to this 14-year-old girl, she took her to a nearby hospital. In that hospital, the doctors were not trained enough, and hence they did not have any idea that such a big trauma that this girl was undergoing. What happened post that is that she could not get the right treatment, and as a result of that, on the 12th of August 2023, she finally had a fatal, in fact, a very heavy panic attack, post which she was finally admitted to the hospital, where the doctors finally came out and said that this girl needs to go under counseling, through which it could actually come out that what was the reason for her being in such depression, because prior to this, the doctors thought that since this girl had lost her father at a very early stage, that might be the reason of her trauma. Now, finally, on the 13th of August, when the counselor, the psychiatrist, was counseling the girl, she came out with this entire ordeal of how she was harassed, molested and raped several times, to the extent that this 14-year-old girl, her age was 14 years then, she got impregnated. And when that pregnancy happened, the woman or the wife of the accused forced her to take abortion pills, through which the pregnancy could be terminated. So this unwanted pregnancy was terminated on the behest of the wife of the accused. Now, since then, the girl has not been in the right frame of mind, because this is the first time that she had finally come out with the entire story or had narrated the story to anyone. On 13th of August itself, an FIR was registered in this entire matter. The FIR was registered on behalf of the statements that were made by the mother of the victim. Since then, a notice was served to these accused. These accused came to the police station and told that they are ready to be a part of this investigation as and when the police deems it necessary for them to come and present themselves in front of the police officers. So the police did not deem it necessary of an immediate arrest. But in the FIR, if you see, sections, or not only sections of rape and assault have been mentioned, but also 2 sections of the POCSO Act has also been imposed, that is section 6 and section 21. Both these sections have a quantum of punishment of more than 21 years, more than 7 years, more than 7 years, which means that the police, nothing was stopping the police from going and arresting this person on the 13th of August itself. But why did not happen? Because the person was a reputed officer of the Delhi government. He was working with the Delhi government for the past many decades, at least 2 decades. Also, the person was not at flight risk, and on the notice that was served, the person and his wife, both the accused and the wife, both of them came to the police and said that they are ready to be part of the investigation and are available for any sort of investigation that the police might look into. Now it has been more than 7 days. Today, finally, when the girl got back to consciousness, when the doctors finally allowed her statements to be recorded, a duty magistrate came to the hospital, at which I am standing. This is the St. Stephen's Hospital of the National Capital, where the victim is admitted at this point. Now the statement of the victim has been recorded under section 164 of the CRPC, which means that this statement can be used as a proof in front of the court as and when the police finally files a charge sheet. Now this statement will be taken as a gospel truth, and the burden of proof will now fall on the accused, that is the Deputy Director of the Women and Child Development Department of the Delhi government. Now it is up to him to prove that he was not present and somehow or the other he was not involved in this entire matter. But yes, the ordeal, the pain, the trauma that this girl had to go through over the last 2 years, facing severe depression, anxiety, panic attacks over the last 2 years, this is something that needs answers to as to who is responsible for this incident that has happened to her, for the trauma that this girl had to undergo. What is even more shocking, that not only the Delhi police did not made sure that this entire story is kept as a secret, but yes, the statutory bodies that are made by the government to look into such matters, bodies like the DCW, bodies like the NCW, bodies like NCPCR, DCPCR, all of them had no idea whatsoever that such an incident had happened, and a girl is facing such trauma over the last 2 years. Now today, since the case has opened up finally, due to the pressure that was built by media, due to the reporting that has been done by media, we are seeing the entire statutory bodies, be it Swati Maliwal, Rekha Sharma, Priyanka Nagnu, all of them have now come on record and have said that the accused should be arrested and whatnot. The political bickering is ongoing, but yes, the biggest question is, why did these bodies have no idea that the girl was under so much trauma, under so much pressure over the last 2 years, even after the FIR was registered on the 13th of August? The larger discussion that needs to happen in this entire story is about the mechanism of these statutory bodies getting information about such acts. What would have happened if the media wouldn't have reported this in such a big manner, in such a strong manner? Would the statutory bodies would have any idea? Would the girl, any of these people would have gone and met with the girl if at all the media had not reported? These are some of the questions that needs a lot of discussion and deliberation on at this point in time. But yes, the big development that has come to the fore, that since the section 164 CRPC statement has been recorded, officially the police has gone ahead and arrested both the accused, that is the person who is accused of raping, and his wife, who is accused of aiding and abetting in the crime by giving her abortion pills when she knew that her husband has done something so bad and serious. Both these accused have now been arrested and will be presented in front of the district judge, that is T. Sadari court, in this entire matter tomorrow itself. Now, how does the court see this matter? For how many days will the police custody be given to the police so that the entire timeline could be established from the side of the accused as well? That is something that remains to be seen, and CNN News 18 will continue to report to you about each and every integrity, each and every movement that happens in this entire matter. But yes, as I mentioned, the larger discussion in this entire matter that needs to happen is to why was this girl allowed to suffer from so much trauma? Why wasn't the right education given to the parents? Why isn't the right counseling available at cheaper rates so that people who do not have the requisite amount of money to afford counselors, to afford psychiatrists, they could also come out and narrate their ordeals? These are some of the questions that needs to have a larger discussion, a larger deliberation on. Will that happen? That only time will tell. Or will this story yet again be a story that would make the headlines for just a few days, and then it would be done and dusted and the world will move on?